Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Ortuna. This is my mom, Gina.
He's the journalist.
And she's the enthusiast.
I am enthusiastic because we get to do my favorite thing today, which is Boneheads, our Bonehead segment.
The Boneheads segment. We are always enjoyed or super happy when we do this. It's enjoyable for us to do this because it's dealing with athletes or people that do something boneheaded.
People in sports.
Within sports. And so we are broadcasting live on Facebook Live. Once again, this week we said we're going to go Tuesdays, and so we're actually going to probably go Thursdays now.
Tuesdays,
we're going to try to get twice a week. So thank you for seeing us here on Facebook Live.
But our YouTube channel fans?
Yes, we are now. We got both going on here, so we're excited about that. And so just continue to follow us. We've got all of our Twitter stuff, our Twitter handle, Facebook, and YouTube. So we're doing this thing. So let's go ahead and talk about Boneheads, all right? So how we do it is we just list them and then we rank them at the end.
Correct.
And then we do describe them in between.
Right.
So this is no particular order to start out.
Yeah, just start out.
So the first one that we're going to talk about is Cam Newton and him getting benched against the Seattle Seahawks over the weekend for not wearing a tie. Now, some people are saying, oh, it's just a minor thing, but it's the rules. You break the rules, you get in trouble. That's that. That just doesn't make any sense coming from him, why he would not follow the rules as far as just the attire and what that means to the team. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but that's one of the boneheads that we have.
Well,
for today.
another one of the boneheads was when we were having all the conference championship games, the game between Wyoming and San Diego State.
The Mountain West
Championship game played up in the cold, and I guess one of the San Diego State players sacked the Wyoming quarterback, and while he's laying on the ground, one of the teammates comes and jumps on the guy's back, the guy who made the sack, you know, like you're celebrating,
right.
But instead he reached over his buddy and junk punched the quarterback who's laying on the ground. If you don't believe me, Google it.
I don't even know how that's possible.
I'm just telling you because the guy's standing over him. I just sacked you, and his buddy jumps over the first guy and junk punches the Wyoming quarterback.
Wow.
And the ref is standing right there, no flag. Just saying.
That's
Google
crazy.
it.
I'm sure he was, the quarterback was feeling.
He was. He instantly reacted.
Feeling a little hurt there. All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is head coach Jeff Fisher for the LA Rams. Okay, they were playing the New England Patriots this weekend, and it was very cold up there in Boston. But he was wearing a big coat, a big heavy coat, because it's cold.
He was wearing a tent. Tell the truth.
He was armored up. Well, because he was so armored up, there was a play there. I believe it was a catch actually that was ruled out of bounds, but as the replay was showing, the receiver got both feet in bounds, and so Coach Fisher was trying to throw his red challenge flag, but he could not find it because he had too much going on. He couldn't. He had too many pockets. I think somebody saw one of the cameras caught him looking in one of his pockets, and he pulled out like gum and like a pencil.
Tissue.
He had like something else, nothing that was related to the challenge flag. So
how did these draws get in here?
Yeah, exactly. So what he had to do was he actually had to tell the ref that he wanted he couldn't even throw it because he couldn't find the red challenge flag. That's ridiculous. I don't know how he does not have that in his front pocket to throw, because you know you're gonna have to challenge a play. Doesn't make any sense. Come on.
He had everything else in that pocket.
Everything else but the challenge flag.
Well, then the last bonehead, and not in particular order, is the entire college football playoff selection process. The process gets the bonehead.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, my God. Just to talk about it for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Let's start with this.
Yeah.
Let's start with there are too few people, 12, making decisions about too few teams, 4, that are deciding the national championship for over 120 college football teams.
Right.
And all of the players, all of the fans, and the millions of people across the world who love this sport. That whole process was bonehead. We're not even going to get into which teams are in. We already did that.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Just the entire people like, do you think the process is broken or not? And this is what got me. This is why I made the bonehead. You have the old sports reporters. I will not put names out there. No, there's nothing wrong with the process. These are the same people who got to be the AP voters, back in the day.
Back in 72.
Let me be clear.
Yes.
The process gets the bonehead. 12 people making a decision about 4 teams when you've got a pool of 120.
Right.
That's just ridiculous. The whole thing is a bonehead to me.
The system is
they get the big bone this week.
Correct.
All right, so.
Okay, so we're going to do this
Let's talk about little Cam.
Yes. Okay, so Cam Newton. All right, so now we're going to describe them here as quickly as we can, and then we'll rank them. Cam Newton, as I mentioned before, This is a guy that was the league MVP, took his team to the Super Bowl last year. They went 15-1, had one of the best defenses in all of football, really, and now they're on the down year off of the Super Bowl. You could say maybe there's some Super Bowl hangover there.
There's a little Super Bowl hangover here. It
happened for them not
happened
winning
to Seattle last year.
And they got beat pretty bad last year in the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of factors for why this team isn't doing very well. But we're just talking about Cam Newton as an individual. This man has, I don't know what's going on in his head. Sometimes I feel like I'm rooting for him, and then there are sometimes I feel like, what are you doing? And in this situation, you can't expect Coach Ron Rivera to just bend the rules for you just because you're Cam Newton. Look, if the rule is that, hey, you got to wear a tie or you got to be buttoned up or whatever, then just do that. How long does it take for you to have a tie to put on? How many assistants to assistants to assistants do you have? There should be no excuse for you to not have that tie. And then it's not just the tie, but he was benched. That's the big thing. His team got whooped either way, but the fact is that he wasn't able to start in the game. That's on him. You shouldn't even been in that position in the first place. Now, some people could be like, oh, Ron Rivera's been too hard. No, he's not. That's the rules. He knew the rules from day one. And if you're going to break the rules, then there are repercussions for that. And it's not right coming from someone who should be so much more above
Adam,
that stuff.
if I'm trying to dress like Captain Crunch, I can't have on a tie. I am sorry, Cam. I know that you're Mr. GQ. Please. The other day, he looked like one of the carols from A Christmas Carol. He had literally looked like a Charles Dickens character.
I don't know who his stylist is.
Swag.
He got the zebra stripe pants.
I
mean,
with polka dot shirt on.
It looked like they get painted on half the time.
And he's got he stole the hat from the guy from Curious George. With the
yes, I'm all about being eccentric and trying to have your own fashion and style and swagger. But when it comes to you in your playing time, I don't understand that.
No,
that and
he's a bonehead because he impacted his team. If you want to go out looking like Captain Crunch and Michael Jackson had a baby, you can do that. But when you're going to impact your team and you're intentionally making decisions that put your coach in a bad situation, then you have to be benched over it. Yep. You are the bonehead. Correct. Let us move on because I want to talk about your boy Jeff Fisher.
Okay, here we go.
Jeff Fisher. It was cold. Tomorrow we're going to be out here in the cold and we will have on big coats. But for crying out loud, you literally pulled everything but your drawers out of those pockets. He was doing the up back.
He pulled the inside out of the pocket.
He was doing baseball signals, trying to get and couldn't find the. Jeff, you got enough issues. You would think that once you put on the big parka, you put the red flag in the front pocket.
It's embarrassing.
The front pocket. And of course the cameras are everywhere.
And then they caught him laughing, talking to the ref like, I can't believe it did
that. And the ref was looking at him like he was crazy.
Well, come on, man. What are you doing?
Well, what you're not doing is winning.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. So that's that. Okay, so now we do have, what was our third one?
Wyoming nut junk punch.
Yes, the Wyoming junk punch. Now, I didn't necessarily see it, but
I saw it.
Well, why don't you go ahead and speak on it, because I didn't see it.
Well, let me tell you why I saw it, because your dad had it on Google Replay. It was a meme. This is ridiculous. I don't even want to spend too much time on it. I don't have male junk. But I live with a whole bunch of men. And as my understanding, if you even brush past it, it's on the ground. So this young man obviously knew better, and there is no excuse. You took a cheap shot. The man was laying on the ground. The young man is on the ground exposed. Your guy just tackled him. There's no reason for you to jump over that. Quite frankly, not only does he get a bonehead, I'm giving a bonehead to the ref who was standing right there. Yeah. And I'm sure it might have happened quick, and maybe he just missed it. We have to protect our young men a little better than that. So it's as funny as it sounds, and it looks funny. That's a really serious thing. We can't be doing that.
Well, we got to move on. We already know we have the college football playoff system that is badly broken. There's so many wrong things going on with it. It's not just the teams, it's the people that are running it. It's how it's structured, and so we all know what's going on there. That's automatically on the bonehead list.
It is. Well, we got to rank them.
We got to rank them. All right, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
No problem. I'm going to give the nut punch, or I keep saying the junk punch, number 4.
Nut punch. It's a nut.
I know, but I'm going to give the junk punch number 4. It's terrible, but there are worse things that happened this week. Jeff Fisher, my goodness. Get it together. Yeah. I don't even have anything. Put the flag in the front pocket. Yes. Cam Newton. My goodness, man, you are so good looking and young and dynamic. I want to root for you, but you have got to put on a tie and act like you've got some sense, and not that you're getting dressed in the dark. But number 1 overall is that nightmare that is the college football selection process. It is not only broken, it is boneheaded. We got to fix it. They're my number 1 bonehead this week.
Yeah, you know, I'm actually going to continue to follow that order. We're going to have the junk punch, Jeff Fisher, Cam Newton, and then the college football playoffs selection.
Number 1.
There's just it
That's a whole nother show.
It does.
I'm sick of talking about
yeah,
it.
so that's what we have on our Boneheads today.
I love Boneheads.
It's always great to do our Boneheads segment. As you can see, we do have our Twitter handles up. We do have Facebook up and YouTube. As you guys know, we're broadcasting on YouTube right now and through Facebook Live. So just continue to follow us on all of our social media. We're really excited to continue.